Creativity is.
Creativity is.
Creativity is.
Creativity is.
Creativity to me is when you allow your mind to wander and you allow it to explore all the different depths of like who you are as a person and different experiences, and you channel those into different ideas. It's not filtered. I think that creativity can be really anything that you derive inspiration from, and that to you is like a truth to yourself and that is inspiring to you. My name is Meredith Derby, and I am a junior studying graphic design at Oklahoma State, and I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I won with 2 of my submissions, and the first one I want to talk about is my motion piece. And so the assignment was to take a year in history and then illustrate that event in 3 different ways. So I have the gang shooting of St. Valentine's Day Massacre, the first invention of bingo. The final one was the opening of the Modern Art Museum in New York. For the motion piece, I used Adobe After Effects and Adobe Illustrator. I built all of my scenes in Illustrator, and then you take those vector shapes and apply them in Adobe After Effects. So it's a lot of keyframing of different positions and scales and grids. So that's how I ended up having the flowing piece of a year of shift and change with different scenes coming in and out with vector points. And then the Harmar Superstar album I was assigned him as an artist. He was completely random, and I had to discover who he was as a person, as a creative thinker, and as a musician, and then channel that not only into a poster, a record album cover, and then a booklet that describes who he is as a person. Harmar Superstar album redesign is a collaboration of a lot of pieces of the Adobe suite. I not only used Photoshop, I used Illustrator, I used Lightroom. It was very much a collaborative collage of Adobe. The album itself is a return to his childhood and what made him believe that he could do this as a profession. So he gets his name, Harmar Superstar, is from an actual mall from where he's from, and so I took the floor plan of the mall and I broke it down into geometric shapes, and then I reapplied those shapes into different patterns and viewpoints, and then I took different pieces of him as a person. So you'll see on the piece there's sections of his hair or of his face, and I applied that, so it's a broken down image of not only him but what his past is.
I think that creativity is too important in the business field because you need creativity to develop some innovations, and in the business field, an innovation means a competitive advantage. My name is Carlos Chiavon. I'm from Mexico. My undergraduate is Business Intelligence, and I'm studying the MBA here. I will graduate on spring 2018. So I tried to develop a simple and useful thing, and once I was in my kitchen, I realized that I need a banana holder, so I just did one with a banana shape. I searched for a banana shape, and then I cut some parts of the banana and I put the base. For the base, you need to try to calculate where does the weight of the banana will be. So put it in the center and just join everything. My advice would be to come to the library and ask about all the different tools and that they can use, because there are some cool things that maybe a lot of people don't know.
Creativity is taking something like foundations and building blocks and making something new or finding a new perspective on them. So my name is Michael Woodard. I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I'm a computer science and mathematics major, and I'll graduate next year, 2018. All the inventions in the world and engineers and computer scientists, what we have today is basically based on creativity. If Ben Franklin wasn't out there flying a key, we wouldn't know that lightning is bad for you. I hope that's not true. I think people knew lightning was bad. So my project originated as a class project for one of my classes. I'm in a VR AR course actually, and the goal was to make a 2-sided slide puzzle. And I thought, well, I can put a different spin on it to make it a little bit more interesting. In mine, it involves the VR space so that you have to look at these windows outside at the outside world to see what you need to actually piece together. One of the biggest components is actually, one, the engine. So the game engine basically drives the game, allows you to do 3D setup, like creating a 3D environment, allows you to do scripting, which essentially lets you control and make things actually happen within the side of the game. But it also lets you compile to a native runnable file on any operating system, which is one of the most big important parts of it. The library definitely helped because having these VR headsets was definitely nice to be able to come in here and test it rather than, say, just letting it sit at home and willow away, basically. Definitely I was able to come in here and kind of polish it a little bit further from being a class project to being something I could submit.
Art is creativity, design is creativity, expressing motion is creativity. I mean, the world is filled with creativity, and there are so many ways to go about it. It's kind of a boundless question. What is creativity? It's everything. My name is Cornish. My hometown is Bartlesville, Oklahoma. I'm actually graduating this May 2017. Very excited. I'm a graphic design major, and I've been in the program for 4 years, and I absolutely have fallen in love with it. The life of Simon in total probably took about 4 to 5 months. It started off as a class project in my motion design in the graphic design program, and he kind of took on a life of its own. The project originally started as pick a location. It can be anywhere, you just design it. So I started off with this snowy hilltop with a small town village, and then the next step was who lives there? And I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to make a person. Everybody knows what a person looks like. So I came up with Simon, who I don't necessarily know what he is. I'm thinking a little bit of Yeti and mountain goat hybrid. And from that point, it was just kind of like, what is he like? What does he dislike? What's the thing that he wants to change about his community? Just silly little things that I could connect to the story. And I guess the next step was, who's Simon's friends? And where I got the idea, I don't know, but socks. Socks are his friends. He loses them, he gains them, they have parties. But that process was a long time. I used Illustrator and After Effects, just some Adobe programs, and after a lot of scene making, it kind of turned into this. The library helped me with research. I used the study rooms, I've used the computer labs, I've used the first floor where the window view is great, and just found out how I could start creating the life of Simon. So originally doing research, what has been done? What are some other motions that I can reference to see how they work, to see how a 2D picture moves? How does the body move in a motion? And the library has thousands of resources which can help for just that. What advice would I give someone? Be bold. I mean, one of the strangest and greatest things about Simon is that he's so strange and random and fun. Like, you have this 2D being that you've never seen before, and his best friends are socks, and they have parties, which you would never naturally think of, but if you have an idea, just go for it and make it your own. Even if it's silly, somebody will love it. And as long as you love it, then make it.